Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Elijah Sherifat Akorede. I'd like to invite you to join me in some candid conversations that have to deal with social issues, things that we're experiencing in families all across the United States, all across the European hemisphere, also back home in Nigeria. This is an issue that I believe pertains to young Muslim people. This is something that is very close to my heart. I've always been interested in um, talking to young people, knowing what their aspirations are, helping them, encouraging them, advising them, and interacting with them, trying to understand them, because there's definitely generational gap, communication gap um, between us and the younger generation. I'm sure that we had the same issues, growing up. Our parents, we didn't think they know what they were talking about. We had, different ideas, and so it's a cycle. I understand that. However, as we grow older, we realize that a lot of the things that we were resisting were our parents were right. A lot of them, not in every circumstances were they right, but many things that they advised us, that they talked to us about, they were right. And some of my children will say, "Mom, man, I guess you're right," but I'm not saying that parents are always right. However, we have this communication gap. So a lot of parents who were raised in Nigeria were raised differently from the way that these kids had to be raised. We cannot raise them the same way. Otherwise, we will not gain their trust. They will not be open to speak to us, to talk to us, and except in things that they know that we want to hear. The thing that we all we want to hear is that they're doing well in school, their education is good and whatnot, but things that things that matter to them also, personally, relationship, the struggles with their career, the struggles with their academics, they seem not to be able to talk to us because we have this high expectation of them, and they think that we can't understand if things are not going the way that we want things to go to. So I'm going to have this platform every week. We're going to have open discussions. I would love for the young people to please participate. A lot of things that I hear from young people is that you guys don't listen to us. You guys don't listen to us. But many times when we give you the audience, you don't speak. And I believe that it's because you don't have that trust, that we can understand you, that we know where you're coming from. But also think of our perspective. Nigerian and African families, when we came here, we came with different sets of belief system. We're trying. I want you guys to realize that the parents are trying so hard to give you a better life, and I know that you get it, and they're trying to understand you. So we both parties, we have to work together to be able to dialogue. Parents, please, let's be more open, including myself. Let's not put our own belief system, our own values, all of our values on them. Yes, we need to raise our children with good values and things like that. However, We need to hear from them. We need to gain their trust. We need to be their parents as well as their friends. Because if we're not friends, if we're not their friends, they're going to choose other people out there who are not possibly good for them. They might give them the wrong advice, and it's okay for them to have friends. Hopefully they're keeping good companies. They have good friends who would not lead them astray. So let's talk about it. Another topic that I would that is kind of painful is what we're seeing in the community, in the Muslim community, is that the boys were raised with different message from the girls. Most parents, we raise our children, and I heard it too growing up, not to marry outside of the faith, not to marry someone from a different ethnicity, but especially the faith, the religion, and it is important. But at the time when you are young, you probably don't understand the importance of it. You probably don't think, is that a big deal? And some young people are committed to it, but not everyone. So these are things that are prescribed by God. God insisted that we should marry Muslims. But the messages that we give to boys is that, boys can marry anyone. They can marry non-Muslims. They can marry, even as far as, Yoruba culture, we give allowance to men, to boys, to do whatever they want to. And then double standard, different standard for the girls. Oh, no, you must not marry non-Muslims. You must not. So we have to give the same message, because we are in the sight of Almighty Allah, we are the same, on equal grounds. If you're a male, you're gonna get the same punishment if a female sins, and we are on the same level. The difference when some preachers say in when they quote the Quran, it's not that women are unequal, like they are less than. Women are not less than, but we're different. We have to accept the biological differences, and we have to accept spiritual differences, and so many differences between male and female. Those are reality. But we need to find a way to let our boys know that it is incumbent upon them, it is their duty to marry girls from the faith. Because if you keep doing that and you marry outside of the faith, what's going to happen to your to the ladies in the religion? So, and this is what's been going on now, that a lot of boys and guys, they leave the Muslim sisters and they go and marry other people. And this is not to discriminate. Sometimes it does happen. Love knows no color, in reality. But the world that we live in, there is color discrimination and racism and all of that stuff, and discrimination, bigotry against Muslims. So even if you marry non-Muslim, the families of that non-Muslim girl or boy still have, the majority of them still have that or negative impression or belief system that And also, I heard from some Christian guys, when they are, talking, jiving, and they say things like, "Oh, Muslim boys." The word out there is that Muslim boys don't take care of, you know, they don't take care of what they're supposed to take care of. So, they don't show up. And a lot of the Muslim sisters, I've heard them say, "Àwọn boys yẹn wọn ò gbórí dúró, àwọn ọmọ Christians náà ń gbórí dúró," all the way from Nigeria also. So, don't, as a guy, please don't run through girls and just, your intention is not to marry them. Leave them alone. Don't just use them as, experimental, people. Remember, you have sisters and you have moms, so what you can do, what you would like to be done unto your sisters and your moms and your aunties, is what you should, intend to do, for others. The same goes for the girls. Girls, you don't need to be players like the boys. Don't say two can play the game. We are becoming more immoral. The more and the more that we have that type of mindset, we're becoming more immoral, we're becoming more sinful. So let's work on this. I would like to open up candid channel, a channel where we can all talk candidly. I hope, once I come on the program, whichever medium that you are, that you can log on, that you're watching, please make your comments and let's find a way to bridge the gap, the communication gap. Let's find a way to work together and take care of one another. We are all responsible for one another in the community. So let's do our part. So I'll see you soon. Thank you, and Almighty Allah will guide us all right. It will guide us right. We'll do the right thing, that, when we meet Almighty Allah on the day of judgment, on the doorstep, the threshold of death, that we will be pleased. Allah will be pleased with us. So let's keep Allah at the forefront of our minds, in our heads, in our hearts, and He will guide us. Please take care of your sisters and your brothers in the community. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.